Give me a break.
Hey guys, it's Victor, Gimmeabreakman, Flakers, and...
Tomoko desu. And?
John, Book of Host.
Tomoko, where are we now?
はい、今日は中日ビルの裏側にいます。女子大工事という町がそばにありますが、今日は皆さんからの質問をジョンに答えてもらいます。
Okay, yes.
So what does a host do? So a host is, in my opinion, a social worker and an entertainer. So we
Social worker.
A social worker. We basically give attention and make lonely people feel better about themselves by entertaining them and just being their friend. We get paid to do that, and we get paid to drink with these people. It's not always females. It's more often than not so. And a lot of these people have stresses at work or whatnot. So
you're not prostitutes?
No. We just get paid to sing karaoke, play card games, drink Dom Perignon champagne rapidly, things like that.
You're not gigolos?
We're not gigolos, no. It's actually really bad for your image and your reputation. So a lot of these girls, they work in the business themselves. Some of them are in the fuzoku business or the prostitution business, and they want to relieve stress.
Customers were prostitutes?
Some of them were, yeah. Some of them were really wealthy men bringing hostesses to my club for us to entertain them. You know, there's a mix.
We're paying you to entertain their hosts.
Yeah, basically.
サークルだね、もう。
Wow.
女が与えた男が与えて。
A little bit incestuous, huh?
そうじゃん。
Yeah, we had a variety, mostly females in the business, so that was the most common. Yeah.
Wow. So not housewives?
No, that's only the like 6 o'clock to midnight group of hosts. So I was a nighttime guy.
Okay, how many of these girls were you hear there are a lot of foreign girls in the fuzoku business, and how many of your customers were actually foreign
I only
girls?
met a few. They don't really spend their money in the host business.
They save it and send it home.
Yeah, I mean, they usually have objectives. So a few like Korean girls and a few Russian girls came, and like they were my customers, but they didn't really spend a lot, and we were more we had some camaraderie because we kind of understood each other's objectives, right? So I didn't really force them, or like I didn't really encourage a lot of upsells.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Oh, he's a gentleman.
Okay, as a disclaimer, I do not recommend anyone do this job. It is, there are a lot of things that can happen that are bad. And unless you're very fluent, I was in one at the time. And
in one what?
So JLPT,
I'm sorry, in one. Okay.
or EQ.
In one something. Okay.
Yeah, EQ, top
EQ.
JLPT level I was. I would not recommend you do this. And I wouldn't recommend you doing this in general. There's a lot better things you can spend your time on, and so I just will put it at that.
Okay. So your level has to be high, though?
You would have to be pretty high, like N1 at least, because the level of Japanese, you're getting slang, really heavy slang, so if you don't read manga with a lot of slang, you won't know it.
So Tokyo-san could do it?
Yeah.
It's pretty rough language, too, so.
Okay. Did they try to speak to you in broken English?
Oh yeah, all the time. I mean, that was my appeal, right? And that kind of helped me do a lot of things that I probably couldn't normally do. It helped me rise in the business as well. I got access to a lot of VIP clients and their friends to then become my own customers.
So nobody's ever seen a foreign host before?
It's very, very rare. I've seen a few others. I met a few other guys, but...
Really? From what countries?
It's like France and Africa and a few countries.
Wow.
They don't usually last long because they don't speak Japanese, and that is a big point. I had a very attractive French friend that got fired immediately. He looked the part, but he just got fired immediately because he couldn't speak the language. So,
Wow.
Tomoko
Wait a minute.
you know, I don't think conforming to anything is good in general, and I certainly didn't. Had my own kind of flair to it. People said I had macho because I work out and whatnot, and we...
Well, are you very different looking now than you were back then?
Quite a bit different. My fashion, everything is very different. I tried to blend in a little bit, but I still kept my own style. So everyone uses makeup, actually.
Really?
everyone tans because you have dark circles, for example. So, yeah, there are different looks and styles, but I wasn't pressured to change. I kept my identity.
The money question.
The money question. I would like to not talk about money for certain reasons, but let's say in general the average host would make 100,000 to 200,000 yen per night if he's a good host. If he has, yes, and if he works late at night, so his clientele is other people in the biz. If he works earlier in the night, it'll probably be like a tenth of that.
A tenth?
Yeah, a tenth to maybe like 50,000 yen a night.
Wow.
I worked from 3 a.m. to 10 a.m. and a lot of similar industry folk. Average was 100,000 to 200,000 yen a night.
What's the most you ever heard of anyone making in a night?
So,
not you, but just anyone that you ever knew.
There's some legendary hosts back in the prime time, and they claimed, bubble period. They claimed $1 million a month.
Wow.
So one guy came in.
$1 million.
Yeah, yeah, 1 million a month. A few guys were known for that came to our club to drink. So,
I often hear that women will give some of the hosts new cars and things like that.
I can hold.
They do, yeah. I got gifts as well. I got a lot of designer goods, for example, like Vuitton wallets and such. And
But no cars.
I didn't get a car. That's kind of a very rare situation.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, there was. I think it's similar resentment you get normally. There's always myths about foreigners for various things. I won't go into those. But also, the number one host in the club took me under his wing. He kind of guarded me, and he kind of helped defend me from a lot of the stuff that would happen. And so a lot of people resented me for that.
Oh, because you were friends with him.
I was friends with the top guy in the
So
club.
it wasn't so much because you were a foreigner, but because he was favoring you.
He favored me. I think he favored me because I was foreigner, and so I did get some angst for that. So yeah, I did get a little bit about that, but I just try to be friendly, and for the most part, with the exception of a few people, no.
Behind it, can you turn around and see what do you see behind us?
Oh, this is the host club.
Yeah, it looks like it's closed. You want to back into it?
Yeah, it is closed.
Oh, why don't you back and switch over here? Looking behind you, what can you tell us about this, if anything? Anything spit out, snap out at you?
Just kind of
They're very young.
typical host club. Most hosts are 18 to early 20s.
Wow.
Later 20s for a few hosts.
Which one do you say you resemble the most? I mean, fashion-wise. Any of them?
But I don't know about that. I just stuck to suits and
Suits?
jackets and maybe the little guy up there.
And in here, it's just pretty dark. It's just nondescript doors, nothing special.
Yeah, it's kind of a typical Misa Shobai entrance.
Okay. Interesting. You did not plan that. Okay. Next one. What inspired you to become a host? What inspired you to become a host, and what made him leave? What made you leave the job? Yeah, what made you leave?
So
What inspired you to enter, and what made you leave?
I wanted to speak Japanese more often and for greater periods of time. The host club did that, and a lot of other jobs I wasn't available to take, like restaurants, for example. They just kind of said no, I couldn't do it despite fluency.
So you wouldn't be hired even though you spoke Japanese? at
Yeah,
restaurants?
it was just always kind of a weird discussion that I'd want to work in a ramen shop. They just couldn't deal with that.
Huh. But a host could deal with it. That's pretty funny.
Yeah, they were very open to it. They said, if you can sell, then we don't care about anything else.
That's the future, huh? Green always talks.
Yep.
All right.
Then I quit. The reason I quit was I had a few job offers closing my college degree up. So I went for the more healthy option. I mean, I'm married.
Do you trust her?
I trust Tomoko.
Okay.
I'm less trusting of templated conversations.
You're less trusting of templated conversations.
Yep.
テンプレートって
So, like a set,
臨時の臨時じゃないわ
kind of a set conversation.
セット
Himarimonku, himarimonku conversation.
Yeah.
How would you say template conversation in Japanese?
Like, もう決まってるコネタとか。
決まり文句そうだね
決まり文句。
Kone toka. Okay. So not women though. Because I've often wondered about women who work in Mizu Shobai if they just don't trust all men. They think all men are douchebags.
Right. I think that's just a lot of bad experiences. Like, I'm married. I have no problem with that.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess this is a previous question. I kind of kept my own flair to it, and I didn't try to assimilate too much. I started off with more of a Western look in Osaka when I was learning the ropes, and I ended with a bit more of a Japanese style in Tokyo and Kabukicho.
Wait a minute.
Ah.
Are you okay?
I don't do drugs. I am okay.
Did you do drugs back then?
I didn't. In America, I tried weed, maybe. I cannot confirm nor deny that, but no, it's a pretty clean business because drugs are super taboo, even in the underworld, because they're already doing something that's kind of borderline, and they don't want to have a good
attention?
reason for the police to shut them down.
Of course.
So it's actually kind of a clean business.
Interesting. How much did you drink every night?
Bottles upon bottles, tens of bottles of beer, several bottles of champagne.
You're thin.
Well, you throw it all up. Every hour I would force myself to vomit.
Wow. Okay,
Yeah.
that's something.
Yeah, that's the secret, because
So.
if you get too drunk, then you're not making money and you get fined by the club.
Yeah.
So
You get fined.
you get fined, oh yeah. I got fined before.
For what?
I passed out drunk and I don't even remember really. I blacked out because I didn't want to force myself to throw up.
In
Next
the beginning, I
morning,
guess.
yeah, in the beginning,
Uh-huh.
woke up with vomit on my jacket, and they said, "You're fined this much for passing out." So I learned my lesson.
Do you remember how much it was?
I was like 20, 30,000 yen,
Wow.
because you basically lose a whole night of potential revenue.
Right. Oh, amazing.
Okay, yeah, that's a tricky question. Generally, even bars in the wrong areas, like let's say Shinjuku, Shibuya, Roppongi, they'll have to pay off the Yakuza. So if you ever want to open a bar, if you're not in like a big department store or something, you will have to pay off someone. So it's a tricky case. They get cuts of things. And so every business that operates at night with alcohol will have to pay the Yakuza. I'll leave it at that.
Okay, just dress yourself.
Well, I
What's
was...
with the suit? This is a nice suit.
Yeah.
What about in your host days?
This is nice suit.
Very nice suit.
This is an expensive silk Hawaiian t-shirt.
This is a good... I like that shirt. I'd
It's a
wear
Harley.
it.
It's a Harley.
That's a solid shirt.
But someone wants to know about well, why do they wear tacky clothes? And I theorize it's because you want to look different from the salarymen out there, so you want to put on a
Correct.
different kind of costume.
Yeah, I had a silver suit. I had a white suit. I had...
Silver suit. Where is it? Where is it?
So part of the process is you pass on your old goods to your kohais, your juniors. So I got items from my senpais, like
I want that silver suit.
belts and stuff. But yeah, I just had no more need for it, and you look out for your juniors that help you with your work as well. So, but yeah, I had many suits. They're flashy, but it's dark. You don't really see it all the time. And I mean, it's kind of, like you said, it distinguishes yourself from other professions.
Cool. Well, that's it. That was 10 of your questions. He's going to be answering a lot more of these questions and your questions on his channannel.
Look forward to
more
it.
detail. So check it out. Book of Hosts.
Yep.
Book of Hosts. And Nihon-chan.
Nihon-chan.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Thanks.